Hello, and welcome back to another episode of MoJo JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the one and only Powerpuff Girls / JoJo's Bizarre Adventure recap and discussion podcast. This is our 20th episode. Woohoo! I'm Raven.
And I'm Alison.
Today, there actually is some PPG news. The Powerpuff Girls are being added as playable characters to the free platformer / fighting game Multiverses, which is a game basically where it's kind of like Smash Brothers, except the characters are all like from Warner Brothers properties. So there's some DC superheroes, there's some Game of Thrones characters, and Beetlejuice is there.
That sounds pretty interesting. Where can one play that?
I think you can get it for console. I play it on Steam.
Okay.
I've only played a little bit of it. I think I've played as like Gizmo from Gremlins mostly. I'm not sure if you can play as all three, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, as like separate characters, or if it's like you play as them as one character. I admittedly haven't watched the trailer. I've just seen some like screen caps and stuff.
So I was wondering, like, can you be MoJo JoJo or like the professor, but just the girls probably?
Yeah, they might release some other Powerpuff Girls characters later, and I think I think the Rowdy Rough Boys are gonna be in there too. But I see them get requested like constantly whenever they release like notes or patches on Steam. They're like, please, the Powerpuff Girls, and so they finally did the thing. I think that comes out like tomorrow, which as we record that, it will be September 16th, but I think when this episode airs, it will be October 18th, so they've been out for like a little over a month. It'll be fun. I'll probably actually get back on and play a little bit if I can unlock them. But yeah, that's the end of our news. Today, the episodes we are talking about are Hero's Proof and Lisa Hamon Coach. So if you want to get on to talking about the episodes, we can.
Okay, so a hero's proof. Caesar yells at the Pillar Men not to walk away and launches a bubble attack, which I feel very silly saying. Wamu uses his hair beads or blades to pop all the bubbles after seeing the bubbles put lava holes in their flesh. So he's got like these almost like chains coming from his hair. And I guess they have blades at the end, and they pop all his bubbles from the bubble attack. So we find out that the Pillar Man know of Hamon. A vortex is sent at Caesar, and it shreds his face. The Pillarmen discuss that they thought they killed all the members of the Hamon tribe 2,000 years ago. So I didn't realize there was any such Hamon tribe.
Yeah, I think that's like the first time it's really brought up. That there was an actual like group of people who were called the Hamon tribe.
Oh, I forgot to mention there was various posing earlier with like I guess Caesar in a crop top and all his 10-pack or whatever he had going on. Caesar is so mad about the death of his German friend Mark and thinks he may have lost an eye. They want to leave to get the stone they seek. So they're kind of just don't care about these puny humans and they're just keep trying to leave. They spare Caesar so they may fight him again. JoJo steps up to show off his Hamon skills. He uses Hamon-filled clacker balls to the disbelief of Caesar and Speedwagon. They dodge the balls easily and laugh off JoJo's attempts. JoJo persists, but the Pillar Men move super fast. Wamu cuts JoJo's wrist. The other two go outside. The clacker ball boomerangs come back to him, and he beats Wamu over and over. So these clacker balls were like on a string, and they come back to him. Wamu says he will take the beating after destroying JoJo. Speedwagon warns JoJo that Wamu is about to attack. So Wamu sends out a divine sandstorm. He has one arm going clockwise and the other counterclockwise, which makes a vacuum vortex windstorm. Caesar tells Speedwagon to run. Wamu thinks JoJo is dead and tells Caesar and Speedwagon they can pray before he kills them, as they were witness to his shame. JoJo appears to be trying to escape and climbs into a train car. Wamu also climbs in, and JoJo sets the car in motion so his friends can get away, and tries to come up with a plan. JoJo is holding dynamite, but Wamu figures it out. They fall from the train car. JoJo says if he had more training, he'd be a better opponent, and Wamu pauses. JoJo says Wamu should let him heal and train more, and then they should face each other again so Wamu can get his pride back from being beat up by a mere human. But AC/DC comes back and eats the dynamite. Wamu accepts JoJo's plan to fight again in a month and puts a ring on the arteries around JoJo's heart that will dissolve in 33 days if he tries to run off. And if they do dissolve, they will poison JoJo. And he says the antidote is in his lip ring, which was interesting. And they also called these rings wedding rings for some reason. And he was able to just like put his little hand right through JoJo's body and place that ring on the arteries around his heart.
Yeah, that seems to be a thing that you can do if you're a vampire, JoJo. You can just stick your hand in people.
So AC/DC also adds a ring onto JoJo's windpipe, and the antidote is on his lip ring. The other Pillarman Cars wants to stay focused on the stone. So the Pillarmen, I'm not sure if they flew away or they jumped away, but they leave. JoJo collapses, but is relieved Caesar and Speedwagon are okay. Caesar calls JoJo a fool and acknowledges there will be much training ahead. And that was the end.
Just like the stick of dynamite again. Like I keep saying, he's just always up to some Bugs Bunny ass shit. Joseph Joestar.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of thinking maybe it was in the train car. Like, are they in a mine shaft? I'm not. I mean, I guess it sort of seems like they are.
I guess it's like under the Coliseum.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know where he pulled the dynamite from, but yeah, even him, was it AC/DC, like swallowing the dynamite? That was a little like, some Looney Tunes stuff also.
Yeah, I know it's a cartoon, technically speaking, but I don't usually see like anime quite lean into like some like old ass cartoon stuff like that, as often as they seem to in part 2 here.
Like he kind of like the dynamite was lit and he swallowed it and it exploded inside him, but he was fine.
Yes.
And then the antidotes being in their lip ring and nose ring was silly as well.
I don't understand how you could keep enough of an antidote in even a hollowed out ring to like actually cure someone. That's my beef with it, other than I'm just like, but now you have to have his nose booger ring. You have to like drink an antidote out of that.
I guess. I'm not sure why they just have these wedding rings. Like they've been, I guess, asleep for 2,000 years and they've just have these things on them for just that exact occasion, I guess. Is kind of the weird part.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they got those either. Do their like loincloths have pockets? Do they just like store them inside their flesh and they just jam their hand in there and they're like, time to bust out the old wedding ring of death. But again, I'm trying to apply logic to a cartoon, so.
I'm not sure totally why I mean, maybe it's just easier to track down JoJo if he has to come back to get the antidote. But I feel like JoJo he would fight them again without a whole lot of prompting.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have to step up in the first place.
I mean, part 2 is called Battle Tendency, and I feel like it's partially because of Joseph just like getting into shit like this and just like fighting people whenever.
And I don't know why AC/DC added in stuff because it was Wamo, really, who was fought. I don't know.
I feel like he just wanted to like rub it in a little bit, like, see, now you have to fight me too if you don't want to die. Cars just doesn't give a shit because he wants to get the Redstone of Asia so bad. Asia. It's spelled like AJA, but they always say it like the Redstone of Asia.
I guess too, it needs to be mentioned that JoJo was trying to crawl away, and Caesar the whole time was like thinking he was being a coward and stuff. But then He was very apologetic once he realized JoJo was trying to crawl away in order to let him and Speedwagon escape.
I feel like he does run away, but he does so in order to help him, like, think up a plan. So it's not necessarily just him chickening out. He just literally thinks better on his feet or something.
And Caesar did not lose his eye. It was like a scratch or something, right?
Yeah, I just cut his eyelid.
Because I said he might have lost his eye, but he did not.
And during the part where he thought he lost an eye, he was like, I don't care if I lose an eye, I'll still beat you guys up. And the Pillarmen thought it was hilarious because I guess apparently a lot of the time when they would fight people from the Hamon tribe, they would say like similar stuff like, I don't care if I lose an arm or leg, I'm gonna like pummel you guys. And they're just like, we hear that all the time. And those guys certainly didn't pummel us. Alright, so I guess let's move on to Lisa Hamon Coach. JoJo freaks out because Wonga called his bluff, saying he should have asked for a year instead of a month, and Caesar chastises him. Caesar tries to show Joseph a Hamon exercise involving an upside-down cup of water, but JoJo spills the glass because he doesn't know how to properly concentrate his Hamon to a single point, such as a single finger, instead of his entire palm. They go to Venice to meet Caesar's Hamon teacher and are met by a strange masked gondolier who is able to balance on the grips of an oar, for lack of a better term. JoJo gets in a brief fight with her, and she's amused and impressed that he is at least able to walk on water with his Hamon. Gondolier is revealed to be Caesar's Hamon coach, the mysterious Lisa, named after Lisa and the Cult Jam. She says that in order to master Hamon, Joseph must be willing to die for it. Then, using the oar as a high bar, she swings over to Joseph and plops a breathing-correcting apparatus on his face that makes him look like Bane. She says that he must wear it until she says otherwise, taking it off only to eat and brush his teeth. That it will correct his breathing to the point that he should be able to run marathons while wearing it. JoJo immediately dislikes Lisa for making him wear the mask, calling her a witch, though he thinks she's kind of cute. Caesar tries to tell him to be polite, and then he respects Lisa like his own mother. We briefly go back home, and we see Speedwagon tell Granny Irina that Joseph is beginning his Hamon training, but he leaves out the wedding rings of death so as not to worry her, and also because Joseph did say he would kick his ass if he told Irina. On her island, Lisa almost immediately tasks JoJo and Caesar with a grueling hell-climb pillar, a 24-meter-tall pillar covered in oil. They must use only Hamon and their hands to climb back up. Caesar is horrified because even he hasn't traversed the deadly pillar, but she pushes them both in. JoJo both curses her and begs her in an attempt to let him back up, but Lisa stands firm. He tries to cheat to climb back up, but she catches him and says it's an insult to the pillar to use anything but Hamon. We skip ahead 28 hours later. Caesar is only 15 meters up, while JoJo is at 0. Caesar looks like he's getting tired of Joseph, hanging on only by his fingertips, but JoJo remembers the trick with the glass of water earlier and realizes that using his fingertips instead of his palms is the way to go. Another day or so passes when JoJo thinks he found a crack in the pillar to help climb it. However, he tripped a booby trap that causes the pillar to spray forth a high-pressure burst of oil. Even Caesar isn't sure if he can make it through the spray, and he's a much more accomplished Hamon user. However, Caesar soon realizes that he can use his Hamon to simultaneously grip the pillar with his feet and to repel the oil at the same time with his hands. It takes him 9 more hours to climb the pillar, but Caesar finally scales the pillar after 61 hours. He begs Lisa to turn the oil off for JoJo's sake, saying that he's too impatient and will hurt himself doing something stupid to climb through the oil spray. But Lisa will not relent. Joseph is able to use his momentum to throw himself up 3 extra meters in the oil spray, which impresses Lisa. Joseph stops being able to control his breathing and almost falls when Caesar grips his arm and pulls him the rest of the way up, despite being exhausted himself. Joseph threatens Lisa with revenge when she throws an upside-down water glass at him. JoJo realizes he's able to keep the water in this time and essentially begs Lisa to keep training him, seeing how much progress he's made during the pillar exercise. Lisa then brings in her trusted servants, Messina and Logs, or as they were originally called, Messina and Loggins, named for Kenny Loggins and Jim Messina, to make real men out of them and train them the next 3 weeks so hard it makes the Hellclimb pillar seem like a cakewalk. We get a brief montage of their training as the days tick by, and soon there's only 7 days left until the rings dissolve. Dun dun dun! Dun dun dun! Indeed.
I don't really have a lot to say other than that. Yes, Lisa was very strict and hard on them, but like a lot of things said about her by JoJo were pretty sexist.
Yeah, that was not great.
He kept calling her a witch, but then he'd be like, it's something about her being pretty or beautiful or I don't know.
Yeah, like even Caesar can respect women sometimes. I think Joseph needs to learn how to as well. Pretty sure Granny Rita would not be happy with him.
Yeah, Machina and Loggins kind of looked like Pillarmen to me. They were like really tall and barely clothed and
Yeah.
super muscular.
In like early JoJo, like I just feel like a lot of characters are just like built like that, just like super tall, super muscular. And then as we go throughout the series, then the characters kind of get like slimmer and like have like more realistic muscle tone. And they don't all look like they could be competing against Arnold back in the day.
And Lisa was pretty neat when she was introduced as the gondolier at first. Like she could just balance and do all kinds of tricks that I don't really think we've seen Hamon masters do before.
Yeah, it was pretty cool entrance.
I guess maybe that is partly why JoJo was calling her a witch, maybe because it was. I guess I could see that
Maybe.
because
We'll pretend that it was just that, not just him being sexist.
yeah,
I feel like I remembered the stuff with the Hellclimb Pillar going on for multiple episodes initially, so I was kind of glad that it was just this one. I swear I remember it like going on for at least 2 episodes.
yeah. I'm glad for that. It was excruciating watching it, and I was thinking they were never gonna do it, or at least JoJo was never gonna get up. And then, I mean, I kind of was not liking her either because it was very brutal. Like they weren't allowed to eat or anything, and so like 61 hours is a long time to be trying to climb something and the whole time because they couldn't really sleep or they would fall.
Yeah, she's lucky neither of them have like low blood sugar or something. You have to like toss down a candy bar so they don't pass out when they're trying to climb up. It took them almost 3 days to get out of there too. Yeah, I probably would have passed out from being hungry by then, but it's just me.
So I'm assuming next episode they're gonna meet up back up with those pillar men, and they're gonna seek that stone, wondering will they have the stone by now? And I don't remember what is the stone supposed to do.
It's supposed to upgrade the stone masks. We're not really sure what they do, what it does quite yet, just that it will do something with the stone mask and it will maybe help the pillarmen if they wear a stone mask with the red stone in it.
But they just like went outside, right? Or they're down in the under the Coliseum because like they can't go at daylight, correct?
No, I don't believe they can, but I think at that point it was like after dark, possibly.
I mean, I'm sure these guys know better than to go out into the light, but that
Yeah.
kind of slows them down. I mean, if they wear the mask, can they go out into the light? Or not? Not. That's why they were originally made, though, right?
I mean, I think so, like, so that they could make more vampires.
I thought someone had said that was so they go out to the light. I don't know. But that kind of slows them down if they can only move at night to finding this stone. Did they
Yeah.
have any idea where the location was?
I'm not totally sure if they said.
So I don't
They're just
know
like, we gotta get that stone.
how they're supposed to find it, but I guess the last place they saw it or had clues. I don't. I'm just trying to think ahead and give little predictions, but I don't know.
We shall see later.
And then Lisa, and like her Machina and Logs, are they all going to help, or does JoJo just have to fight these pillar men by himself right now? Because I thought she said, I wrote it down. She is putting together a group to annihilate their enemies, and those servants of hers could do Haman. like they're the ones training the two guys. So like does she have a bunch of servants that know Hamon and is the enemies just the pillar men? I don't know that I made a very grammatically correct sentence there, but anyway, just wondering. I think JoJo has to fight them initially, but if he were to fail, I would think they would want to get rid of him because they do pose a giant threat, seeing what Dio was able to accomplish in a short period of time and not having a whole lot of knowledge about Hamon.
Yeah, everyone will just have to wait and see till we get to later episodes.
Cool.
So, tune in next week if you want to find out what happens next on the show, what we think of what happens next, etc. If you're listening to this on your podcatcher of choice, it would be super cool if you could give us a follow and maybe leave a review. Love to hear some helpful feedback.
Share it with your friends.
Yes, share it with friends, especially if they're big into Powerpuff Girls and or JoJo. Maybe they like one, but you want to get them into the other, and maybe this podcast is an opportunity to help you do so. If you're listening to this on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, and until next time, I'll be the roundabout. Goodbye.
Goodbye.